Equality versus equity. Which is the path to justice? In the ongoing discussion of social justice, two terms frequently arise: equality and equity. While both are essential concepts in the pursuit of fairness, they represent different approaches to addressing societal disparities. The debate surrounding equality versus equity raises fundamental questions about how best to achieve justice in a world rife with systemic inequalities. Should we strive for equality, where everyone is treated the same, or should we focus on equity, which takes into account individuals' unique circumstances and provides different levels of support to achieve equal outcomes? The answer to this question is complex, as each approach has distinct advantages and drawbacks. Equality. Equal treatment for all. Equality is often seen as the ideal of fairness, where everyone receives the same resources, opportunities, and treatment. The idea is that, by treating people equally, we create a society in which no one is favored or disadvantaged based on their identity, background, or status. This concept is central to many democratic principles, such as the equal right to vote, equal access to education, and non-discriminatory laws. Supporters of equality argue that it is the most straightforward and universally applicable principle. By providing everyone with the same opportunities, we avoid giving preferential treatment to any particular group. This approach emphasizes that all individuals, regardless of race, gender, socioeconomic background, or other characteristics, should be treated with the same degree of respect and dignity. It is often seen as a basic human right, promoting the idea that no one should be left behind due to systemic barriers that are beyond their control. However, critics argue that equality alone is insufficient to address the deep-rooted inequalities that exist in society. Treating everyone the same does not account for the fact that some individuals start life with significant advantages, while others face multiple layers of disadvantage. Equality, in this sense, can be blind to the reality that not everyone has the same starting point or access to resources, making it difficult for disadvantaged individuals to succeed even if given the same opportunities. Equity. Tailored support for fair outcomes. Equity, on the other hand, is a more nuanced approach. It acknowledges that individuals have different needs and face varying degrees of obstacles due to their backgrounds and circumstances. Rather than offering everyone the same resources, equity aims to provide resources in proportion to the specific needs of each individual, ensuring that all have an equal opportunity to succeed. Proponents of equity argue that it is a more realistic and effective way to achieve justice, as it recognizes the historical and structural inequalities that shape people's lives. For example, if two students from different socioeconomic backgrounds are given the same educational resources, the one from a wealthier background may have access to private tutors, extracurricular activities, and a home environment that supports their learning. In contrast, a student from a disadvantaged background may struggle with inadequate schooling, limited parental support, and economic hardships. Equity would ensure that the student from the disadvantaged background receives additional support to level the playing field, such as tutoring, mentorship programs, or access to free educational materials. Equity advocates argue that this approach addresses disparities more effectively than equality because it focuses on achieving outcomes that reflect fairness, not just equal treatment. It allows for the dismantling of systemic barriers and the provision of tools that empower historically marginalized groups to succeed. However, critics of equity argue that it may lead to reverse discrimination or favoritism. By offering tailored resources or opportunities to certain groups, equity may be perceived as unfair by those who do not receive the same level of support. They argue that it could perpetuate divisions within society, as individuals may feel that they are being disadvantaged or discriminated against because of policies aimed at correcting past wrongs. Additionally, opponents of equity believe that it can lead to inefficiencies or resentment, as it may be difficult to determine who needs what level of support and how much is appropriate. Which path to justice? The debate between equality and equity is not just theoretical, but has real-world implications for policy making, social movements, and societal structures. Advocates for both sides argue that their approach is the most just and effective. Those who favor equality emphasize the importance of fairness through equal treatment. They argue that society should treat all individuals the same, regardless of their circumstances, and that people should be responsible for creating their own opportunities and outcomes. They believe that equality promotes individual agency and personal responsibility. On the other hand, those who favor equity contend that a one-size-fits-all approach to justice fails to recognize the complexities of social disadvantage. They argue that achieving true fairness requires recognizing the unequal starting points that individuals face and offering personalized support to ensure that everyone has the same opportunity to succeed. Without equity, they argue, we risk perpetuating the very inequalities that equality seeks to eliminate. In reality, these two concepts are not mutually exclusive. Many argue that true justice lies somewhere in between, combining the strengths of both equality and equity. For example, policies that promote equality of opportunity, such as equal access to education, can be complemented by equitable support systems, such as scholarships for low-income students, or programs that target communities historically excluded from economic and educational advancement. Conclusion: the path to justice is neither simple nor linear. While equality ensures that all individuals are treated with fairness and respect, equity acknowledges the disparities that exist in society and takes proactive steps to address them. The debate between equality and equity will continue to evolve as society grapples with issues of systemic injustice, privilege, and opportunity. Perhaps the ultimate goal is not to choose one over the other, but to find a way to integrate both approaches to create a society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, regardless of their background or circumstances. Ultimately, the path to justice is about ensuring that every individual has what they need to succeed, whether through equal treatment or tailored support.